Hello everyone and welcome back to another weekly Render Friday. Today we're going to be doing something pretty cool and I'm super excited because I love this kind of stuff. We're going to be creating an actual planet inside of Cinema4d and Octane, and this is going to be a procedural planet. We can basically just take a texture and have a whole new planet made out of that texture, whether it be Earth texture, Mars texture, Venus texture, gas giant texture, or even an alien planet texture that you created in Photoshop. You'll be able to take it and use it. So let's get into it.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Okay, so now that we have Octane opened up in the bottom and Cinema4d opened up, let's go ahead and create a sphere. And we're just gonna do simple sphere like that, and then just crank those segments up. Probably around 200 is good. Go ahead and duplicate that sphere by punching Control-C, Control-V, of course, and then creating a volume. And that should be under here somewhere. Octane fog volume, perfect. So we have our volume created. Just go ahead and drop your first sphere under the volume like that, and then go to the volume, go to, well, we don't even have to go to coordinates for this. If we just zoom in right here, you can see we can just make the volume bigger by pulling this out like so. And let's turn off the first or the second sphere. And okay, so that looks pretty good. I want to make sure that that volume is going through. Oh yeah, make this sphere invisible, of course. Forgot the most important part. So whoa, okay, so right here you see we have our volume, we have the first sphere. This is going to be our surface sphere right over it. And let's just go ahead and create the material. So go to create new Octane material, shader Octane material, perfect. And we're just going to call this planet. And what's great about this is it's procedural, so of course we can replace with any texture and have a whole new planet. Go ahead and open up node editor. And we got it opened. And just drop in a image texture and image texture. One texture is going to the diffuse. So one is going to the diffuse, and one is going to the bump. But there's just one problem here, and that's because we're on a diffuse material. And you go to glossy. It's perfect. So we created our glossy material. Go over to roughness right here. It's going to be up here somewhere, right there. Roughness, perfect. Just crank that all the way up and then put this down like right here, and we'll move this back some. Let's go back to our image texture and grab our surface, and I'm going to be doing a Venus surface. You can find these textures for free by NASA. Just look up 8K Venus map, and we got it right there. Looks great. Octane is not responding because we need to first off fire it, but second off we need to create a light. So we go to Octane lights, Octane, we can do targeted light, and we can drop this target onto our sphere, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that just works wonderful. Okay, while we're at it, let's go ahead and go to Octane HDR environment, and now we have our volume cloud in our environment. But we're not going to stop there because we're actually going to grab another texture for this environment. So this is a 16K star map. Just go to the internet, search 16K star map. It's loading. Perfect. Okay. And now we have to move our light a little bit. Move our light back some. And we'll jump back over the star map. I know I'm all over the place, sorry. And we're just gonna go to the basic properties, I believe. Change the power to like 1-ish. Now, once you change your power, just click the drop down on this texture and you'll see gamma right here. So if you crank the gamma all the way up, it's still a black background. But we pull it down, you can start to see some stars come in. I'll make this bigger for you to see it easily. So that's a little too long gamma. I'm gonna go to something like that. So it looks pretty nice. So I already see another problem that always happens with this volume. Let's just go right here, zoom in. So you can see our volume just needs to be moved up some. Perfect. Okay, go back to volume right here. Go to generate voxel size. We're gonna do like 0.7. Be careful because as you can see, if I pull up Task Manager, our RAM, wherever it shall be, memory is just spiking up because of that. So in this case, the more memory you have, the better. So we change our voxel size to 0.7 and then just take our edge feather and bump it all the way up to 100%. And getting this atmosphere right will be a little tough, especially, just gonna let it all update, especially because it's gonna be so daggum slow. So now let's go over to volume again and go to medium and then click volume medium. So we're gonna wanna go to absorption and change that from a gray color to a kind of like a dirty orange almost. Turn that all the way up and turn the saturation down just a snag, probably something right there. And then we'll go back and click back again. I'm gonna have to turn off this volume soon if it keeps on acting up. Let's go back to volume. I have this one scene where I made this planet like 8 times as large to get more physically accurate shadows and reflections, and it's just horrible trying to deal with the scene. Go back to volume medium, click on it, click on absorption. Okay, so we have our absorption, click on scattering, shader, and then right there. Probably a little more orange. Perfect. So while we're at it, let's get a frame up and we'll create an Octane camera, because I can tell you right now, unless you're gonna wait days for this render, you're gonna need to start denoising. So let's zoom in some and we'll wait for it to update. Just for the sake of this tutorial and keeping the speed up for you guys, I'm gonna go back to volume. I don't want to kill anything here. And then mess around with some volume density. But first, before we start doing all that craziness, let's find a nice angle. I'll refire Octane so we can see it live update. So that looks pretty good right there. I want to get kind of the dark side of the planet. I'll back out just a smidge. Go back to Octane Light. We'll move it back some. And we're not even in camera view, are we? So this is a little trick I do. We'll create an Octane camera there, but first go to cameras, perspective, and then go to view, and then go to display, not view, display, and go to ground shading. Perfect. So now we can go here, go to Octane camera, create Octane camera. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast, guys. I'm trying to keep this for everyone, you know, beginners and kind of semi-pros. I'm sure a pro knows how to do this really easily. I'm not gonna be watching my videos. Okay, so I'm really liking that look. We'll go to Octane Light, and because it's the sun, we need to think about how the dynamics of the sun work. The sun's pretty far away and it's a pretty powerful light source. Obviously, if I do that here, because we're not to scale, it's not gonna be perfectly replicating how this environment works, or how this solar system works. Something like that looks pretty nice, and I'm just gonna go to the Octane Light and we're gonna change the visibility to none, no visibility. Now we'll go back to our volume and let's change that density to 800, and then we'll go over to our volume sphere, which is under volume, and we're going to change the radius to 101, 102, 103, and it's still not perfectly on there, so we're going to drag that down some. Too much. Yeah, if you had bigger voxel sizes, this would be horrible to do. Alright, so we're getting a nice look here. Let's go back to volume. I wonder if we could change our voxel size to 1.5 just for the sake of the render speed right now. And then we'll go to our camera, of course, and we'll go to camera imager, enable camera imager, and if you have not jumped on the AI denoiser train, you're definitely going to want to do that because it is amazing. So we'll go AI denoiser, enable, and that's really all you need to do here. We can find a nice LUT that honestly, whoops, that LUT right there looks like Alien, almost their opening scene. No, we're not going to do that one. Not that one either. If you're planning on taking this into Photoshop or After Effects or any kind of post-production color grading, you're just going to want to not put a LUT on. Okay, so now that we did camera imager, let's go to post-processing, enable, and we're going to just go ahead and enable it. And you can see right here you have main and denoise main. We're going to go to denoise main. So we're seeing the denoised version of it. And we're going to go to bloom power and just crank it up some. Beautiful. Glare power, we're just going to crank that up all the way so I can show you what I'm doing here. Go to glare blur and just slide that over to 100% and go to glare amount. We'll keep glare amount the same. And that's pretty much it. Looks pretty good, right? Okay, so we'll go back and take our, well, we're going to leave our spectral intensity up all the way, or down all the way, and take our glare blur and just drag it down until we find something we like. So keep the glare blur up, and let's just take the glare angle. We can spin that around some, and then go back to glare power, so you can see the difference there. And this is just help selling that atmospheric look that something's alive, you know, that something's happening here. It's not just a diffuse glossy material bouncing light off, it's a subsurface scattering atmosphere. Is that how you would describe an atmosphere, subsurface scattering? Okay, so we got our volume, we got our sphere, perfect. Okay, voxel size, let's try to play around here. We'll go to 0.8. It's gonna kill our render times. So looking pretty good with the voxel size. And you can really tell that the blur and the post-processing really is what sells this, in my opinion. Let's go over our settings, just so we make sure we have the right settings. We're gonna change our max samples to 256 because it is looking a little too smooth. And then we'll go to camera imager. We already did all this, didn't we? Yes, we did. Well, so here's this tip that not a lot of people know, and I'll have a whole video about it, but you're really not outputting, if you denoise, you're not going to output a denoise until you go into your Octane render and you click use denoise beauty pass, and then go to render passes and go to denoise passes and denoise beauty. Also, something that we probably did not check, which I always forget, go back to Octane camera right here and go to camera imager, denoise volumes. Of course, how could we forget? Because that's going to be the noisiest part. So just making sure, just a little recap, we have our volume, we have it in a sphere. You're going to have to line it up a little bit to get this look. And then our voxel size, I'm going to take down to 0.67 before I run out of memory. Let's just go ahead and check that. Computer became unresponsive. Okay, there we go. So we're actually not doing too bad on memory. I'm actually rendering something in Blender, so please ignore the CPU usage. Oh, it's because we're still bumping it up. Honestly, getting 96 gigs of memory is really nice. I don't have to worry so much about volumes now, so that's great. We'll go back to volume again, and then we'll go to medium and volume step length, density 800. It looks pretty good. I do maybe want to bring this a little bit closer to the surface, so we'll go to 102 because the bloom has really helped selling the atmosphere. And we'll go back to volume. Looks pretty nice. We'll go back to volume, and we're really just playing around with settings right now. So you can skip to the end if you want, or you can chill with me. Volume, step length, volume, edge feather. Yeah, do make sure your edge feather's up all the way. It will really help sell this look. So we got that going. And boom, just like that. Looks amazing. There's really not too much else we can do. Let me just create a new camera. Go to it, and then we'll move around something like this. So you can just really get a nice close-up on the surface. So I don't think this is a good LUT that we have on. Let's go back to it. Surface. So if you're gonna render this out, I would do at least 500 samples and then apply the denoising. But this is the tutorial. I hope you liked it. It'd be great for some concept art for sure. I'm actually incorporating a spaceship and everything into it, and we'll, if it's highly requested, we'll get into the tutorial on how to make the spaceship and everything. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you really enjoyed it. Hope it was quick. As always, project file in the description for 7 days free for all my subscribers. After that, you have to pay like $5 for it. It's not that much. Honestly, I'm just doing that to try to help me maintain this channel and eventually maybe hire some editors and get some better quality going. So thank you guys. I hope you liked this video. Have a great day.